Washington was a nice combination of a capable chair and an alert audience. Not that they didn't have on some commotion, but it was clear that the chair was able. For example, immediately as it starts, there's been a motion made for the previous question. And just looking at your chart, we remember that's the motion to close debate. So someone has clearly moved to close debate. And the chair says, did you mean to close debate on just the amendment or on all pending questions? Because when you move to close debate, so we have a situation where we have a main motion on the floor, and we've moved to amend it by inserting green, and now we've moved to refer it to a committee. So we actually have the refer to the committee, the amendment, and the main motion all on the floor. And this chair was alert enough that he immediately said, did you wish to move the previous question on just the pending amendment or on all pending questions? So that tells you right away the person has had meeting experience and knows what he's doing. He takes the vote on the previous question. The person says just the amendment. He takes the vote on the previous question, which of course, remember, takes away people's rights, so it takes two. All those in favor of closing debate say aye. All those opposed say no. The noes have it, and the motion to stop debate fails. And he announces that. This discussion is on filling spots, on filling positions. And they debate again, and after, I think it's just one more speaker, someone else gets up and moves again to close debate. And the vote is taken, and this time it is adopted. And he says, the motion has been to close debate. Motion on the floor. It worked out fine. I never said anything, but afterwards I said to the chair, let me give you this little brown flyer so you understand the main motion introduces new business. It presents something. Subsidiary motions are designed to be helpers to the main motion. So of course you can have the main motion on the floor and then have another motion. And she said, well, I always heard you couldn't have two motions on the floor at the same time. And I said, what you heard is you can't have two main motions on the floor at the same time. But you can have multiple motions so that you might have a main motion. We have been buying things lately. We bought benches, we bought computers, what haven't we bought lately? Let's buy a new car.
Nice red pickup.
Yes, a nice red pickup.
A new old truck.
Yeah. So we have a motion to buy a new pickup truck, and we can then, once it's made, seconded, and stated by the chair, an amendment to insert red before truck. And so now we have a main motion on the floor. That amendment is seconded, and I state it and ask for debate, and we don't know how much it's going to cost, so we refer it to the Ways and Means Committee. So we now have 3 on the floor, and we talk about that so long that Renee decides to move the previous question and stop talking about it. So now we actually have 4 motions on the floor at the same time. And we always go backwards in the order in which we put them on, so that the first one we'll deal with is the motion to close debate. And when the chair asks the question, did you mean to close debate on just the referral or on all? You'll say all. And then the chair will say, all those in favor of the motion to close debate on all pending questions say aye. Those opposed say no. The ayes have it, and debate is closed on all pending questions, and then we would move directly to the vote on commit or refer. And assuming that passed, it would go to the committee to which it was referred with the amendment to insert red and the purchase of the truck. And now they would come back at the next meeting and say, The committee to which you referred the motion on purchasing a truck is ready to report, and we recommend a vote to purchase a pickup truck, but we think that since the town color is blue, that you should amend it to insert blue. So now we have the committee's report. The chair says you have before you an amendment to insert red. What is your pleasure? I move to amend the amendment by striking red and inserting blue. That gets seconded. We discuss it. All those in favor of striking red and inserting blue say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no.
No.
The ayes have it, and you have before you an amendment to purchase a blue pickup truck. Is there any further discussion? See, now this has been sent to the committee and it's come back, but it's your motion. So someone at this point could say, remember, right down in this corner where processes of amending is described, we have add. And someone could add by saying, even though this has been to the committee and it's come back, it's our motion. Now, to purchase a blue pickup truck, move to add at a time other than Dream Cruise when cars from the 50s are not so popular. You know, any amendment you want. Let's assume that we did that, and now it's before you to purchase a blue pickup truck, not at the time for the dream time, and we'll say that we have now added all those in favor of the main motion as amended and as sent to committee and returned and as no further debate, please say aye. So there would be. Well, here we were. So the second vote to close debate is adopted. There were quite a lot of points of order in this one from Washington, and the chair takes a point of order. And the point of order is, this is about, as I mentioned, this discussion is on delegation being seated, on the fact that the delegates who were trying to be seated could not be voting on it. And of course that was exactly right. And
I'm sorry, so what happened?
well, the point of order was that the delegates about whom they were voting as to whether or not they should be credentialed shouldn't be voting on the question.
Oh.
And that was exactly right. And that's very interesting because the point was made, well, but you know, they're such nice people and we'd like them to be included. That's always an issue, and I have an organization right now that has that as an issue. They permitted some people to vote who were really not entitled to vote according to their bylaws, but they wanted to be inclusive. Well, what the sentiment was exactly right, but what they should have done was noticed a change in their bylaws according to the membership, voted at the very start of the meeting after they'd done the adoption of the credentials and the rules, established a quorum. They should have voted on a bylaw amendment to say, now we'll have this, change our membership this way. The people who were to be included as a result of this change not being included in the vote. And then once the vote was adopted and the bylaws were changed, and remember, bylaws take effect immediately upon adoption. The chair should have said, if there is no objection, we will take a recess, and the delegates the people who are now entitled to be delegates may go to credentials and get their voting materials. So they could have accomplished the same thing, but have done it in an organized way. So just remember, sometimes just the fact that you want to do something nice, it's not necessarily the way. There is a way to do it, and to be very accommodating and to recognize diversity and inclusion without having a situation where you go against your bylaws. So he says that that's a point well taken.